Some editors think you need 3D skills to create an effect like this. Well, no. This one is actually fast and easy. Let's open up Premiere. Let's start with the first step, and that's filming a clip of a building. Make sure to film from a tripod, or you can look for a video on Storyblocks like I did. Alright, step 2. We're gonna get rid of the Eiffel Tower first, so we have a clean background, or an empty shot. There are 2 ways you can do this, one with Premiere and another method using Photoshop. Don't worry, I'm gonna show you both. In Premiere, duplicate your clip by holding down Alt on your keyboard and dragging your clip 1 track up. Then in the toolbar, find the Object Mask tool and click and hold it. Then in this menu, pick the Pen Mask tool. Head over to the Program Monitor and draw a shape somewhere in the sky big enough so the Eiffel Tower can fit inside. Then go to the Effect Controls and in here, drag the unassigned mask you just created to the opacity effect. Now go to the Motion properties and adjust the horizontal position property to push the mask on top of the Eiffel Tower. Of course, feel free to adjust the mask to make it look real. Now, if you want to get rid of the tower completely, you want to use Photoshop. Of course, if you're using Photoshop like me, you can delete the clip with the mask on. Then click the screenshot button to grab a still of your video. I always save it as a TIFF file because it's lossless. Then drag it in Photoshop straight onto your canvas. Then in the toolbar, grab the lasso tool. On your canvas, draw a shape around the tower as if you're making a selection. Then in the generative fill toolbar, click remove. Let it do its thing, and once it's done, the tower will be gone. Now save it like this on your PC. Back in Premiere, drag the empty shot on top of your video. Now the only problem we have is that this is a screenshot. It's not a video anymore. The moving parts are mostly the trees and the people. So to bring back the movement without bringing back the tower, click and hold the Object Mask tool again. Pick the pen tool and then in the Program Monitor, draw a mask around the sky, because that's all we need from the empty shot. In the Effect Controls, right-click your mask and choose Change to Opacity Mask, or you can just drag it on the opacity effect. Alright, now it looks like the same video, but without the Eiffel Tower. It's time for step number 3, isolating the Eiffel Tower. That way we have 2 different layers, which means we can do whatever we want with the Eiffel Tower. To do that, hold down Alt and duplicate the video on track 1, all the way on top. Trim it until you reach the moment where you want the tower to appear. With that clip selected, click the Object Mask tool in the toolbar and go to the Program Monitor. In here, hover your cursor over the Eiffel Tower. That should automatically create a selection around it. Then left click and go to the Effect Controls. There's not much movement, so tracking isn't really necessary, but just in case we're gonna track it anyway. And that way you learn something new. Just click the forward and backward button and wait until it's done. Then right click the unassigned mask and change it to an opacity mask again. And now back in the timeline, you can see that we have our separate layers. So now we can let gravity do its thing and create the effect. But first I want to tell you more about the Storyblocks plugin. You know where I actually found this clip. I use it to download unlimited videos from their 100% human-made stock media library built for creators. Once you found the clip you want, click the download button and boom, it will appear in your project panel. It's built to save you time. I mean, you don't even have to leave Premiere. The footage is made by real artists. Storyblocks doesn't accept AI-generated assets. They work with actual filmmakers and artists from around the world who create high-quality footage, music, sound effects, and templates. Everything you download is royalty-free, pre-licensed, ready for personal, commercial, and monetized projects. I've used Storyblocks to grow all my channels, and I'm not just using the stock library, but also the Premiere Pro and After Effects templates. Those templates are still saving me hours every single day. To get access to the human-made stock library built for creators and essential to my workflow, head over to storyblocks.com/Premiere Basics. Oh, and they're offering 50% off any annual plan for a limited time, and that discount is only available through my link. So click the link down below. Thank you Storyblocks so much for sponsoring this video. Alright, now it's time for step 4, making the Eiffel Tower appear piece by piece. First we're gonna nest the clip we just masked, otherwise the animations won't work correctly. You can call it whatever you want and then click on OK. Now head over to the effects library and find the crop effect. Drag it to the nested sequence and with your clip selected, go to the effect controls. In here you'll find the crop effect. Make sure it's selected and go to the program monitor. Crop away everything but the bottom of the tower. Now the Eiffel Tower is a lot smaller. Next, find the transform effect in the effects browser and drag it to your nested sequence. Then in the effect controls, drag the playhead to the first frame of your clip and go to the transform effect. Set a position keyframe and move your tower all the way up until you can't see it anymore. Now move the playhead forward in time and click the reset position button. That creates a new keyframe with default values. We're not easing the keyframes because we want the animation to be linear. It doesn't slow down before it lands, it just slams into the ground. Then of course, don't forget to increase increase the shutter angle to 180 degrees to introduce some natural motion blur. And there you go. That looks amazing. Now let's go back to the timeline because we need to make some more pieces. It's actually very simple. All you gotta do is hold down Alt and duplicate your top clip one track up. Then move it a little to the right because we want the second part of the tower to fall a little later. You can trim away the end of the clip. Now with that clip selected, go to the effect controls and don't worry, you don't need to recreate the animation. All you gotta do is select the crop effect and go to the program monitor. In here, adjust the crop so that only the second piece of the tower is selected. There you go. This is starting to look awesome. Alright, back in the timeline, duplicate your clip again. Same thing as before, drag it a little to the right and trim away the excess video. With that clip selected, head over to the crop effect. And then in the program monitor, adjust it again. Now we still need to make the tip of the tower appear. So let me scroll up to get more space and duplicate the clip a fourth time. Now I want the tip to come in later than the others. That's because this squeezy effect we're gonna create in a moment will look better this way. Now same thing again, head over to the crop effect and adjust it in the program monitor so that only the tip is selected. Great. Now we finished this step, which means it's time for step 5, creating the squeeze effect at the end. First, let's make a little more space in the timeline. That's better. Now double click one of the nested sequences because we need the masked out Eiffel Tower again. Select it, then press Ctrl+C to copy it, and then go back to the original sequence. Now in there, press Ctrl+V to paste it. Then drag it all the way on top. Now it's important to make sure this clip starts at the exact moment where the last piece of the tower falls into place. After that, you can trim away those nested sequences. There you go. It's that simple. Next, we're gonna nest the Eiffel Tower again and call it something like bounce or whatever. Then click on OK. Next, find the transform effect and drag it to your clip. You can actually drag it down a few tracks to keep your timeline organized, and then head over to the effect controls. Move the playhead to the first frame of the clip and then go to the scale effect. Make sure uniform scale is disabled because we only need to animate the scale height. Set a scale height keyframe and move a few frames forward. Then go back to scale height, and if you adjust it, you can see that the entire building stretches and squeezes from the center. We don't want that, so we're gonna adjust the anchor point to the bottom of the tower. Simply drag it down and then double click the property. Copy it and paste it on the position property as well. If you now adjust the scale height, it will stay the same at the bottom. Decrease it a little to make the building a little smaller. Then move forward in time and click the reset button to make it normal again. Move forward again and make it smaller, but not as much as you did the first time. Then for the last time, move forward in time and reset the scale height property. Next, expand the velocity curves of the animation. First, pull the lever of the second keyframe, that makes it bouncy. Then also click and drag the second lever. Then again with the third keyframe, exactly like that. Then with the fourth keyframe, do the same thing. And now you gotta play around with these. Go back and forth between the keyframes and play around with the timing too, until it looks right. Of course, don't forget to increase the shutter angle, and this looks awesome. But there's one thing missing. Every time a piece of the tower lands, we need to feel the earth shaking. That's exactly what we'll do in step 6. Grab the playhead and find the exact frame where the first piece of the tower landed. Then set a marker. Do that again for the second piece, the third piece, and the fourth piece. Now in the project panel, click the new item button and click adjustment layer. Then click on OK. Once you have it, drag it on top of your video. Snap it to the first frame of the clip to the right side of the first marker. Then trim it down a little. Now in the effects browser, look for the wiggle effect and drag it to the adjustment layer. With that clip selected, go to the effect controls. In here, you can see a lot of controls. I'll change the horizontal and vertical range to 4%. Then I set the wiggle speed to 170%. Now if we scrub the playhead a little, you can already see the earthquake effect happening. And now we're gonna animate the master from 100% to 0%. That will make the earthquake fade out slowly. Of course, let's increase the motion blur too, and there you go. This looks awesome. Now, the next steps are easy. Simply duplicate the adjustment layer and align it with the second marker. That will create the same earthquake on the second impact. And of course, the same thing with the third piece of the building, and then lastly, duplicate it again for the fourth piece. We're gonna make this one a little more subtle, so head over to the effect controls, set the playhead on the first keyframe of the master property, and change the master to something like 35. Amazing, but we still have one problem, and that are these black edges when the earth is shaking. We'll fix that in step 7, scaling things up. There are two ways you can do this. One is with an adjustment layer. You just drag it on top and expand it so it covers the entire sequence. Then find the transform effect, drag it to your clip, and go to the effect controls. In here, all you gotta do is increase the scale, and that's it. And now the second way. Select all your clips, right click them and choose nest. Then call it Eiffel effect or something. Click on OK. Now with the nested sequence selected, go to the effect controls and scale it up again. There you go, this effect looks very cool. By the way, I figured out the best way to copy a color grade from any movie and paste it onto your own footage in this video right here on your left. Thank you guys so much for watching.